In her speech to the United Nations Assembly, Eleanor Roosevelt said that the Universal Declaration of Human Rights is a declaration of basic principles of human rights and freedoms to serve as a common standard of achievement for all peoples of all nations. The Magna Carta and the U.S. Bill of Rights have a legacy of legal authority. The Universal Declaration of Rights does not.
Roosevelt acknowledged that this declaration is not a treaty and it does not purport to be a statement of law. Her hope was, therefore, not to create an enforceable law, but to create an amazing goal. In this way, her hope has been realized. The Declaration stands alongside the Magna Carta and our Bill of Rights, not as an assembly of legal obligations, but as a brotherhood of documents that testify the rights of man.
All three of these revolutionary documents explicitly address freedoms that people or groups should have. All afford the right to habeas corpus and due process, all protect against excessive bail and disproportionate punishment, and all demand the right to trial by peers. The Bill of Rights and Universal Declaration share some commonalities. For example, the rights to speech, religion, and assembly.
Each document, of course, offers some unique rights. The Magna Carta gives freedom and liberty to the English Church and many of the British cities and towns. The Bill of Rights gives the right to bear arms, protect against the quartering of troops, and creates rights for the levels of federalism. The Universal Declaration states that every human has freedom from slavery, has the right to employment, and the right to Social Security and health care.
There are, however, many differences between the three documents. The most notable of these are their differing levels of legality. The U.S. Bill of Rights is the only fully enforceable and legally binding document of the three. The Magna Carta has only 4 enforceable clauses. The Universal Declaration of Rights has no legal standing whatsoever.
Nevertheless, the Universal Declaration recognizes a much larger variety of rights, including political, social, economic, civil, and cultural rights. For example, Article 15 provides that every person is entitled to a nationality. Article 24 states that every person has the right to rest, and Article 27 states that every person has the right to enjoy and participate in one's culture. The Bill of Rights has far fewer and less diverse rights than the Universal Declaration. It touches more on civil rights, for example, with its 4th and 5th Amendments.
It can be argued that the 9th Amendment of the Bill of Rights indirectly affords many of the rights that the Universal Declaration actually enumerates. However, the reluctance of the Supreme Court to expound upon the 9th Amendment leaves in question whether or not it covers the many rights not written in the Bill of Rights, rights which are explicitly protected in the body of the Universal Declaration.
Conversely, the Magna Carta's main focus is economic rights. It actually reinforces the social caste system that existed at the time, completely contrasting with the equality granted in the Universal Declaration.
While King John was forced into signing the Magna Carta, the Bill of Rights and the Universal Declaration of Rights were accepted willingly, one by the citizens of the young United States and the other by the international stage, respectively.
2 of the documents, the Magna Carta and the Universal Declaration, can be labeled as reactive documents. The Magna Carta was written as a reaction to the king's abuses, and the Universal Declaration was formed as a reaction to the horrors of Nazi Germany when the original international human rights document, the United Nations Charter, was seen as insufficient. Conversely, the Bill of Rights can be labeled as a proactive document. It was not even a part of our original Constitution and was not created to address a history of abuses by the American government. It was instead created to assure the protection of human rights in the future of our nation.
The 3 documents collectively symbolize the extension of human rights, both in the sheer number of rights afforded to the people and the history of how those rights were accepted. They embody the vibrant history of human rights. This history is important. Without the Magna Carta and the Bill of Rights, there is a good chance that the Universal Declaration would have taken a very different form. The documents play off of each other to create written accounts of the legal guarantees all humans should have.
All big changes begin with a goal in mind. Though the Universal Declaration cannot be enforced, we believe that all nations should echo Eleanor Roosevelt's words in that they should, conscious of their own shortcomings and imperfections, join their effort in good faith to live up to the high standard of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. This concludes our statement, and we're now ready for your questions.